Move we accept the October slash September minutes.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Hey, Ken,
We'll let Ken lead the meeting.
I can't read the.
Hit the thing,
I'm
we're
sorry,
out
Hal.
Also, Leanne put in the new schedule for next year. You'll see the asterisk on July. Next year, actually, our meeting falls on July 4th, so she just went ahead and put it to the 11th. So just a note there on the board meetings. All right, we will get going. We'll go into unfinished business. As you see there, the fifth pour has been poured. In that pour, so you guys know, Dane Miller's, all his foundation work was done. That was quite large in that pour. His stone is due to be set end of this month, 28th, 29th. It is currently getting loaded in Vermont. It was cut in India. The granite came out of India, it was sent to Vermont and assembled. The main stone's, I think, in two pieces, because I think the main stone will be over 10,000 pounds. So I think it's in three pieces, because I think the heaviest piece was 4,300. So there'll be, it stands 102 inches tall, and then there is 12 smaller stones. It'll be right across from Beyond the Sunset. She bought property right there, so it'll be right outside the office. So when she was going to bury him, I have no idea with that, but at least we're getting the stone. I'm working with a monument company out of Michigan. So Robinson is bringing the crane to set. So he just called with tentative date. The trucking company said it'll probably be in November. So, but we poured all the concrete, got it all done, and with this last pour. So you see there, we did a total of 138.
Right.
So when you look at that total, for foundations of the month, you'll see that's quite large. Most of that would have been the Miller Foundation, just so you know. Okay, so if you look over the numbers there, okay? Where that puts the last pour for the year. We have some on the list for next year already, but we're done pouring concrete. Fall cleanup, the second one is in full swing. The guys have been blowing, we've been sucking. I can't tell you the number of loads we've taken out. The street department's coming in with one arm and helping us out some. But yesterday, they pretty much blew probably 90% of that cemetery, and we were cleaning today. So, and that's first round, and we're not close to being done at all. So with that in the process, funerals have been up. We did 8 last week. This week has slowed down a little bit. We'll be 3 after tomorrow. So there's not as many. Besides cleanup, we're getting ready for winter. We've had to set some stones. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, no, that's about it with that. So that will continue on to get ready for winter. This year for winter, so you know we'll have 3 plow trucks. Since I bought a new one, dropped mine down in the fleet. So that'll give me, basically we'll open the cemetery and then 2 of us will be out on the streets working with the street department to help doing alleys and stuff like that to get things open when they need us. So we'll be helping out there. Number 3 is there for you guys if just any suggestions, improvements to the cemetery. Have a few things on for next year that we'll talk about here in a little bit. But
I've got an idea, but we can do it whenever you want.
well, you can do it now, whenever you.
Sure, I just were in Japan, and we got to walk through a lot of their water gardens. And the entrance to the cemetery on that right-hand side there, that's awfully low. Is that ever going to be?
The front field there?
Yeah.
No, it's muck.
Is there, I was looking at some of these, I just brought some pictures of different ones. I would like to see, if we could ever pull it off, some kind of a water garden, I can just pass these around to take a look at. And I know it's going to take some effort and a lot of work to get something to, put together for it, but I think that would be we could have it then for a reflection area for people, whatever, to go out and sit and just, peaceful a peaceful area for people to be around, so. Again, I don't know whether we can pull together some people in the community to come up and foot the bill for that, whatever. I guess I'm open to any thoughts on that, but,
I think it would be a wonderful idea if we could achieve it.
Now, back in the day, before me, of course, way before me, they said there was a fountain up in the front.
oh, really?
I don't ever remember that.
I do not either as a kid, but somebody told me that,
Huh.
and I'll just tell you the story, because Elaine Cole was the clerk treasurer at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And I said something about it and got shot down pretty hard, but she's not here anymore, so that's okay. And it was so funny, because she went liability, and I went, Parker's got fountains, you know, it just,
Right?
so I don't know, there was some reason she didn't want it, but no, I'm up for it, I really am. I mean, the whole idea is, it took me, you know, it was 16 years to get equipment and stuff where it
Yeah.
needed to be. I'm gonna say 15, 14, and now it's more beautification, which we're gonna talk about here, is what we're doing.
If you're kind of up for that, I would entertain, you know, I'd go do some research and find out what would be for like a landscape architect or something to draw something up, and then, you know, I can talk around the community and see what we might be able to come up with.
So-
Could
Where-
any of that come out of the PUM fund?
Yes, it can. The perm fund is for that, for stuff, it's permanent. The deal is, what we do with perm is just you understand, and once again, Elaine called me, I couldn't spend anything out of perm.
Yeah.
Joe, and then now you can, and that's the whole idea. It's not for life savings, but the original, part of it, what it started for, is to have money put in there, so if we ever got landlocked and we're done, we'd keep it up as nice as we're trying to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, as you see the beautifications, I haven't lost hardly any of that money. I think we invest, Lynn and I invest right around 1.1 million, I believe.
Okay.
Currently, I use maybe 180,000, I'm gonna say top end a year, if that. I bring in, well, here'd be perfect numbers, because we're getting close. Bear with me here a minute. It should tell us, perm fund, I'm currently right now at 47,000 of that I've brought in just this year alone. Okay, how perm is created is half the lot sales.
Okay.
Half the lot sell, anybody that buys a lot at Oakwood Cemetery, cremation, full body, whatever, goes into perm. And then what we do is Lynn and I, or Lynn, I guess you can say Lynn and I, she does the work.
Yeah.
But then we invest it in 2 large chunks to try to draw more interest. That's how we do it, tie it up for so many more years.
Sure.
Is how it works. So yeah, I can use that, that's what I use for beautification. These walls you see,
Yeah, yeah.
it's public knowledge, I mean, they're $40,000, I mean, these walls. But these are walls we put in, they're gonna last. This isn't like before where they just kind of threw duct tape at it and it didn't stand. This is NDOT block, I mean, it's good.
Right.
It's gonna stay for a long time, it has drainage behind it, it's done correctly. So it's not gonna go. So I'm up for it, I guess. My question is where?
Well, I was,
I mean-
again, I was thinking in that little area, because you're not gonna be able to do anything in that little area, other than you're mowing it now.
Well, a little area, it's a big area. That's
Well,
what-
but yeah, that
But
little
we
area.
could, what I'm saying, we could do it by Legion 3, we could do it over by the curve where the other wall is. I mean, there's, yeah.
I just think that's a whole big expanse right there that
Yeah,
is mowing. And I thought, you know, if you could do something, something like this, might just
I
really.
think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
If that's okay with you, I'll start doing some digging, see what I can come up with.
yeah, it'd be nice to.
I'm not committing to anything, but just,
No.
I'll just start doing some,
Research.
It'll definitely hold water. I mean,
We know that.
well, honestly, I mean, it's kind of fun, but people ask all the time, they would love to be buried out there. And I jokingly, but it's not really joking, I said, you'll pop up.
yeah, that's right.
And you will. I mean,
You will, yeah.
everybody thinks 3,000 pounds of concrete won't float, but it does. I've seen it. You know what I mean? It'll pop right
You
up in
bet.
that muck.
You bet.
Yeah, so, I mean, it just is what it is. But to do something, I mean, I think the front, it's a beautiful entrance is what I'm trying to do with the
Right.
walls and stuff. But yeah, something
I'm
like
just thinking
that.
something like that to come on in, I would think would help beautify that entrance right
Yep,
there.
I have no problem.
Okay.
And if it's something we're real serious about, and I think we are, in my plans, in my mind, I may get to do some of it next year, if not, to be the following year, is I'm gonna get electric out there, because
Okay.
my big goal is, with all the military flags,
Right.
is I'm gonna light them up, and I'm gonna light up that one main flag. I have people come to me, and I won't use the word disrespectful, I guess I just
Right.
did, but, and I'm not, I just don't have power out there to light those flags up. So if I can get Legion 3 lit up and then do colored lights,
Yeah,
uh,
okay, well, let me do some digging and.
yeah, I'm all about it.
Great idea.
I
See what we can come up with.
I love ideas,
See if I
'cause-
can even, there's enough money in this community, somebody's got, maybe 3 or 4 families help underwrite that, I would think, if you just find the right ones, so.
there might be even grants available.
Yeah,
different
that's stuff. Let me, okay, if you're up for that, I'll do some digging and research and see what.
It's a great idea.
I think so, because I mean, because we go electric, what I guess I was gonna finish is I'll get water over there.
Yeah.
Because I don't have water now over there because of us killing the system, but we're gonna redo that anyway for that fill station, so to run underneath, if I have to run electric under that road, we can run
Yeah.
water also, to get it over there or get it to where we need it.
Okay.
It actually might help us keep it dry a little bit more, follow me?
Yeah,
If you
right.
dig a pond or something in there, it's gonna
Yeah.
help, because there's times a year that we get heavy rains, we can't get in there. We
Right.
watch the weather all the time, and we'll mow it ahead of time or
Right.
whatever. Because there's actually been 2 years that I can remember that we actually went out and weed whacked a lot of it, because it was so wet, I couldn't
Yeah.
get a mower in. We
Yeah.
just stick mowers.
Yeah.
I hold the record on how many mowers are stuck in the front yard, front field. I guess I'm the daredevil, but.
Well, this may alleviate part of that.
Yeah, it would drain.
Okay, okay, I'll.
Yep,
I'll see
I
what
love
can do.
that idea.
I'll
Yeah.
start digging around.
And actually, as many visitors we have, that would be a nice, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay,
So
okay,
you're in charge of that. You got it?
okay, I got it.
Okay. So we'll go into a little new business here. Excuse me, sorry, I have a cold. You'll see number one, what's banners. Part of what I've been doing is trying to make it more self-sufficient in that cemetery and more, I don't want to say cost productive, I don't know the word. Use less money, I guess, is an easier way to do it. We spend a bunch of money on flowers, okay? Don't mind doing it. It looks beautiful, but with that is so much labor to keep those alive, especially hanging baskets. We line them, we put stuff in them, and my guys, trust me, that's part of their job when we're busy is still, almost every morning, we have to go out and water those. So we're going a little different for a little while. I've contacted Graycraft, and we're gonna put 18 by 36 banners up through the Central and down Legion. I have 24 banners ordered. We're gonna do different seasons. We're gonna do flower prints, 6 different flower prints. So there'll be 4 of each going both ways. I've ordered 24, I've ordered 12 flags for Memorial Day. We'll flip some out, and then we'll do a winter scene for the winter. So we're gonna go to banners for a while instead of hanging baskets. Initial cost is $7,000, but they last, I mean, went with the heavier brackets, so these are, they hook right on our signpost. I wanted the more ones that they would, yeah, they're warranted and stuff like that. So the brackets are ordered and 2 sets of the banners are ordered. I'm taking the brackets out of perm. The banners I'm taking out of my 36 account that I had a little extra left in this year. So they're getting ready. So next year you'll see banners hanging. They're not gonna say anything, they're just gonna be prints. Trust me, I said so many times, what do you put on them, what do you do? And I'm like, why do I want anything on them? But I think that they'll look gorgeous and they'll last, and it's gonna save us some time and money in the long run for what we gotta do. And what's really cool is if we decide to get creative, a set of banners, if I do all 24 currently, is like $1,800 for them to do it, which isn't really a ton to do that, because if you use them one year, you can use them another.
Right.
So if we wanted, Leanne and I kind of put our heads together, we wanted flower prints, and then I thought, I don't want 24 flags, I think that looked terrible, but, so we're gonna get a few. But we thought it'd be nice for the winter to have a winter print up.
Sure.
So we might wanna do another print, who knows, it's endless what you can do.
The city, I understand, is doing the veterans flags, where they stick out and they talk about different veterans. And
Down market.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
so I've
Which
heard-
could go into this, because they're the same size, I
Sure.
believe,
Oh, yeah,
18 by
okay.
36, I think so. So you could do that, you could honor, or You could even, this is my mind, family wants to honor a loved one
Sure.
and put one up for a month. That's kind of far, you know, I mean, it's
Yeah,
endless.
sure. That's
what
open
you can
door.
do.
Sure.
Or you may not want to do that. That may be something you guys will be voting on and deciding down the line. But there's just so much you can do with it.
Sure.
And not only that, if you want to put out stuff, like, you know, educational stuff or something to make announcements, you can do it also. I think I get a couple extra, but if this all works, I probably will put a couple on the light poles out front too. But I did order that right now. I first originally went to them to go right straight towards the office like we would do with the hanging baskets, and I thought, why not go down Legion? So you go down Legion all the way out, all those, why not do both ways? So that's where we're heading, you
Yeah.
know? So I kind of went
Neat
ahead and did
idea.
that. But once again, it's part of the beautification. You have money up front, but we're not doing all the labor to water and do all that stuff. And so not that we're getting rid of flowers, we'll have flowers out front and cremation and stuff, and I put rose bushes in cremation one this year, and, you know, we're still gonna do some of the flowers and still have some watering, but if I put a guy watering, that's almost a half a day.
Sure.
Water, it takes out of what, you know, when we're busy and has to do stuff, and a lot of times it's me, because they're busy, so, anyway, we're gonna try that. Number 2 is the walkway behind the preacher stand. That was scheduled for last year. I did not do the asphalting I wanted to do this year because Dustin was busy, so they're actually starting next week on the walkway to the preacher's stand. So it'll be in for next year. Anxious to see how that comes out. With that, I think you guys know I put in the steps back there. We kind of put a, if you want to call a side border on it, kind of just to get by. Don't like it, that's gonna have a tiered block system on it, so it looks better as it goes into the walkway. And when I mean a walkway, you'll actually have a performance area outside the preacher stand. I believe it's, I gotta get this right, it's 10 by 20. It's 21 long and then it'll be 10 wide.
Right.
So if the Legion or whoever wants to bring their podium out instead of underneath, they can. It'll be patio blocks, so we're heading with that way. So that's gonna be done yet this year, and then probably this late, hopefully I can get seeded quickly, but we will try, or maybe have to bring some sod in, we'll see what happens next year, I won't get it done. Number 3 is the big one, not a big one. Once with this plan, as far as taking care of stuff and try to be less maintenance, the front entrance that you come in, we have the bushes, we have the stones, and the lights. Okay, love my kids and to run around in there, whatever, they take their bikes, people walk through, I clean up stones all the time. I want to take the bushes, the stones out, and we're going to put pavers in there. And make it, and maybe a couple benches is what we're going to do. When Mike comes out, he's going to price that for me. So I'm probably going to try to save the bushes and take them back towards the shop to put on the hill. But we just want to clean that area up to make it look a little nicer for the entrance. I think what we had is nice. I just think this will look nicer and just a little more clean and refined is what I want to do, just to kind of straighten up the front. Huh? I mean, it's daily. I have to blow daily. Well, and what happens is you watch, and more the elderly, but you watch kids too, they'll slip. They're a little small. And I can't keep them contained in there at all. And so I thought, man, those paver, that would look really, it would just make it clean. I like the bench idea. I got to kick that around a little bit. Not that I have a ton of skateboarders or whatever, but I kind of worry about that, what we're going to do. But I may put metal ones like I did in cremation too. I don't know yet. That's just something that we're going to work through as we get the bidding process here going. But the pole lamps will be there, of course, and stuff. And I think it'll just make a nicer entrance to it. Okay. Honestly, with that, if you go by and think that would look cool or something look cool, let me know. This is just the bidding process. I have money in to do it next year. I'm pretty sure I have enough to do it, but if you guys that's the whole idea. This isn't, I always say, this isn't Hal's cemetery, this is our cemetery, the community cemetery, so that's why I love ideas. I mean, if you don't give me ideas, trust me, I can come up with them, so not a problem. Yeah, I'm open, because I know I want pavers, but I'm not too sure on other stuff, but if you think something else will look cool, bring it by me. Let's figure it out. Wouldn't mind doing it, okay? And I, so you know too, that sidewalk project's going, the Lincoln Sidewalk Project, but they're not touching our sidewalk. They're coming up to it. They may take out the U where the big maple was,
Right.
but yeah, they're not touching our sidewalk. I just wanted to throw that out. I had a question the other day about it. Also had a question about the flags that are in the pole, the sticks. They think that's where the sidewalk's going. That's the property line. That's not, I went out and looked because they're asking me, I said, are they grade stakes? A lot of times what they do is when you do that kind of project, they'll set offset stakes, you know, with elevations and stuff. They're not. They just went so that people know where the property line is. So I'm not too sure. I don't know where the sidewalk's going, but I just wanted to throw that out too because people are asking me. I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not part of the project. But I asked because our stakes in our front sit behind our fence, and I'm like, you're taking that down? Mm-mm. Let's talk. What's
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with our sidewalk.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool project. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of kids in that area that walk
Yeah.
to school. I think it's a great idea that they're doing this. But, and I guess we're saving the trees, so we're all right there.
Thank God.
Just had to throw that.
Tree.
See, that thing was right there in that corner, you just, all you gotta do is move the sidewalk, I would think.
Well, it doesn't go, the thing is, it doesn't go down Sheridan. So
Yeah.
I think they can show it. The hard problem is, if like Dustin was doing it,
Yeah,
if the street
yeah,
was doing
yeah.
it, they can go, okay, we'll move it here. They can't, NDOT has to okay.
Yeah, I
all the changes.
understand all that.
And, but they're gonna, yeah, they're gonna, they're gonna leave it. But I think our tree in the cemetery is older than that one, but I'm not gonna pay for an arborist to find out. So, I don't know, but we have a big oak in
Are you
there. that
sure?
I think we're kicking its tail, but I don't know for sure, just so you know. And it's not coming down either, I don't know if it's all big enough to get it. And actually, because I have somebody that really watches me on trees, you know that too. And I don't know what it was, but I actually did trim it to make, so it will live longer.
Right.
It was, I had a
Cut
beaver,
that tree down.
Beaver Dam came and we
Yeah,
cleaned it up
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and whatever, like we've done many of the
Right,
trees, but,
right.
yeah, but I think I'm older than that one, but I don't know. Anyway, with that, we got down to, and I believe that's why this lovely lady's here, is the walking tour. Have a lot of people ask me about it. I'm kind of excited about it, and it's time to, I guess, start to get some things going on it. And I know, Dave, you want to be a big part of it. I know Ken wants to be a big part of it. I don't have anything tonight. Did you bring some stuff tonight do you want to talk about?
No, other than just some little facts.
Okay, okay.
I have done 15 books that are completed. That's 185 people.
And they're all buried in our,
They're all,
they're all there.
no, I take that back. Fred Oles is not.
Oh, I wondered
He-
Fred where it
He's
was.
spoken about at his father's grave.
Oh, okay. Well, you've done some great research
Sorry
here.
about that.
Anyway, it's close, but not quite.
Sure.
Okay, so I did topics, I did various people, there are kind of, what books you saw were just different people. And the biggest difficulty is making a walk in the books that is within a time frame, and they won't go forever.
Sure.
around. And then I did Civil War, I did Christian Workers, 2 books of those, I did Fun Times, which is really a riot book, and Crimes and Unique Monuments, 2 books on that. And I was absolutely surprised at the unique monuments that are in the cemetery. Wonderful stuff. I'm working on sports currently, 2 books for sports. Thought I could do it in one, but now I have a bazillion people. So that's really interesting. One sports person I didn't know of, I've tried to make sports, every sport that there is, I've tried to find somebody to fit into those. So I did not know it, but Russell Long caught the biggest common carp out of Pike Lake in 1989. And he has the national record for that pike, for that carp until 2004, and he was beat out by like 6 ounces.
Oh,
Somebody
wow.
in Texas. But I had no idea that
Yeah.
this guy was
Wow.
in this
That's
Fisherman's
great.
Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame. And
Russ Long?
just all these people I had no idea about.
And he's a guest in our cemetery.
He's in our cemetery.
Oh, wow, that's
You can believe
great.
it.
That's good stuff.
We also have a Olympic gold medalist in our cemetery.
Okay.
A woman,
Okay.
1924 Olympics. She was with Johnny Weissmuller and all.
Oh, really?
Tarzan.
Wow.
That's
Tarzan.
another really neat story. Of course, you
Sure.
know Truex, Max dress.
Yeah, sure.
He was a lawyer in California a long time,
Right.
but he's buried.
Is he here in Warsaw? Okay.
So, just fascinating people.
Yeah.
And our buddy Hugh Russ,
Mm-hmm.
he was a Olympian, wasn't he?
Who was?
Hugh Wrestler? Didn't he go on, I mean, in the game,
Oh,
the
he's
elderly?
not buried here.
Huh?
I don't think
Is
it
he
was.
buried here? Is he? Okay, I'll have to check that. The only one difficulty I'm having is with recent burials are not online.
Sure.
So I have
Oh,
to
yeah.
keep checking, like Joe Harris, golf, terrific
Sure.
story there.
Right.
I just did Charlie
It's
McKenzie,
not just buried out there.
good story.
Huh?
Hutch is out there.
Well, we have one, and I'm sorry, I don't know the gentleman's name, but he, I believe, was a sax player. It was really sad, his funeral was real, but he played for some of the greats.
Really?
Because the guy,
Yeah,
his,
yeah, what is his name?
I can look it up, I'll have to find him, but it was just myself, his friend, a pastor,
Oh,
and
Oh,
the
wow.
funeral director at his grave, and he
Yeah.
played, and he recorded some, and I mean, the guy went on and on, it was just phenomenal. And nobody
is-
really, and nobody was there, it was just like so sad.
And that is another category I want to do is musicians or music.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of fantastic,
Oh, yeah.
like Bob Richmond. I mean,
Yeah.
gee, he was
Sure.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, and he played with greats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just terrific. So that's what I'm working at. And when you do your tours, if you're gonna do organized tours,
Mm-hmm.
you can just take people from the book however you want to organize them.
Yeah.
Nothing has to stay in the order that.
Right,
I've
right.
done.
Right.
Well, yeah.
You know, just pick out who you like and so forth.
Well, and that's kind of, tonight, to just talk about, we're gonna have to start a committee, because like, we stayed after and talked a little bit, the three of us, and it's like, we gotta narrow it down, and that's gonna be the
Sure.
toughest part of this whole thing.
I agree.
Because there's so much, but as I thought about it, well, like I do every evening, think about all this stuff, this may be just the first of many.
sure.
It doesn't mean, it's like to start one, and it can be yearly, every other year, whatever.
Sure.
I mean, the facility's there and they're not going anywhere, you know what I mean?
No,
It's
yeah.
not like they're-
Yeah.
We don't
The
have
history
to,
is,
we don't have to pay them to
the
come.
history is written. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah.
there.
And I mean, even from like the greats here, different people, but actually even people that, you know, built this city. I mean,
Sure.
you know,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can go-
absolutely.
Cause you know, you did your tour,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much information. And I apologize, two ladies from the Historical Society, Greg, Steffi, one called me, I have their name on my desk, I'm sorry, wants to be part of this also.
Sure.
So, and I wanted them part of it.
Yeah,
I told
yeah,
Greg,
the
no
more the
financial,
merrier.
we'll take care of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think starting to plan one, I think the first thing is get what we want to do.
Right. Get a
And then we get it,
organization.
because they're like, when are you doing it? Next year? Well, this time, I said, well, time out. We gotta get who we want first, and then, it's like I say, we can get the kids from the high school, and
Right.
probably
Oh,
other
yeah.
people would wanna
We
play.
got the community theater people.
Oh, yeah,
I
that'd be
mean-
really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And I want to throw in another caveat here, something that's become near and dear to me, is doing podcasts. You can do a podcast in every one of these people. I mean, fun. I mean, I got the equipment to do that, and I just have fun talking to, you know, Copeland and all those guys about the history of Warsaw and Kosciuszko counties. Another caveat.
Yeah, and I just did, I didn't realize that there were harness races, and some of the people who won a lot of harness races all over the country.
Sure,
and that just,
okay.
You know, it's like, man, like, whoa, we got all these different people. and
Yeah,
People
yeah.
need to know about the people that
Yeah.
built the community.
Yep, I'm a big advocate of that.
Yeah. So, that's the sort of thing, is just, there's no binding orders or anything, you know, you just run with whatever you want
Right.
to. There's, some of them are short, but I do have more information about them. It's just that you have to condense it. for the
Sure,
type.
Sure, sure.
I try to keep the books at, like I say, a easy walk and not more like 16 pages. So otherwise they get old.
Sure.
The Civil War ones are easier to do.
Sure.
Quote together.
Uh,
But,
Well, we need to have an organization, it needs to have organization and structure and how we're, like you said, establish what we're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I will, I think by next meeting, December, then we'll try to come up with a time and
Sure.
see what we can get, and try to, I'll make some phone calls of who all wants to do this, and who wants to lead this or whatever, and we'll start
Okay,
with it.
and we could do the planning at the historical jail or whatever. I mean, I don't care where we do the planning, but
So.
We can even do it here or at the cemetery.
Sure.
Whatever you want to do.
Another little tiny thing, as I was going around, my mind, because I have to check all my routes to make sure they're time-wise. And then it's like, uh-oh, this is not working, I have to go back and reorder them. But I noticed graves that really, particularly veterans, and I know you're thinking of having some sort of thing to help the veterans' graves. But when we were over in Europe, we took a World War II tour, and of course it included a lot of the cemeteries. And in Belgium and some of the other countries, they have people from the community assigned to a grave to take care of them.
oh, okay.
And our guide said that he's been on the waiting list for 6 years to get a grave to tend to put flowers, flags, all that. And they have stopped adding people because so many people want to do it. And I just thought, we could get people from our community to support that type of a program. This picture shows a marker for a veteran from the War of 1812. And it's a mess. You can see, it's just horrible.
And this is in Warsaw?
Yes.
It's in our cemetery.
Wow.
Now, I checked with, right below it
From
says.
1812,
I checked
wow.
Yes. It'd be the oldest one.
Yeah, I believe
Registered with
that.
the Society of War Veterans of 1812 in the state of Indiana. There was nobody listed there from Oakwood. Now, their website said that their information, they weren't sure was complete, so.
Sure.
But it's just, as I went through, there were a lot of,
Do we have a name on this?
no.
Okay.
And you gotta
I thought I
understand,
read it
that
somewhere.
the stone may not, the original stone may not have been transferred over. This gentleman was buried twice, or gentleman or whatever was buried twice.
Yeah.
That cemetery didn't start till 1874.
And that's why below
Do you know where he
there's some of
was?
the things
Oh,
that
where was it?
it
You know where the
talks
cut glass
about
is?
doing.
Yeah.
You cross the railroad, he was right there.
No kidding.
That was the first cemetery.
Wow. It says,
Yep.
one of the things you can do is to make sure that headstone or marker is properly set and get a new one if they don't have it. And that's what some of the volunteers try to do for the person they care for.
Man, it'd be neat to be able to find out who he is, or she, or whoever.
And I think probably
probably
the
can,
Historical
so.
Society
You
could
think you
find
could?
out.
Well, technically, the older ones, and she would know about this, record keeping wasn't the best back in the
Sure.
day. Technically, by law, I have to have a provisional death certificate on every person. And I have files of this, okay, back in there, so we'd have to dig. We might have it in a book, in a lot book, what, I could do some digging to try to find out what I have on it. So there's information. But you gotta remember, what they did is, the railroad came through and cut them off. So
Sure.
and I apologize on what they call the addition over there, we used to call those kids Little Kentucky.
Kentucky.
And I apologize, this
By
is
the
what it was
cut
called.
glass back,
But
yeah.
anyway, several years ago, I get a phone call from the police and say, get here. Okay, the city is doing a manhole inside there in the alley. Okay, they found a stone. So I come flying over, the people are coming out, they think they're gonna make National Jew. I look at the stone, I call Leanne, the gentleman's actually in Gore One, he has a big stone, they never brought that stone over. It's immaculate, I have it. But I don't know when they transferred all those people over there, if they took everything or not, evidently not, because
Yeah.
we found this stone. So, but that's where it was when they cut off when they opened this one. Because this is real close to the age of there's a lady buried out there.
Yes.
That was in the
Well, and
1820s.
then as I walk through, there's other stones of like the Cuban conflict. and
Yeah.
They're just not if somebody would adopt them and take care of them, they could look really nice.
Right.
Even their flag holders are all bent and, so it's just something, I know that you're thinking about doing those sort of things, and with the Legion, I think they want to do that kind of day
Sure.
for veterans, so it's just
Yeah.
to get you.
The hardest part with these stones that are back there, they're sandstones.
Yeah.
Glue will not hold,
Yeah.
pinning will not
Yeah.
hold. The only thing you can do is take the remains and pour it in new concrete and set it in for the front and put it back in. I've already looked into some of these to do.
Well, another one which I would adopt, if you get to adopting, is William Williams. was buried out there. Civil War circle, and he's just off to the side. A little tiny marker, and it says he was major with the Civil War. He was paymaster at Fort Wayne, or Louisville. He became a United States congressman. He was the ambassador to Paraguay and Uruguay. He owned, where you go out east and it's Lincoln School, it's Lincoln Street, Grant Street, Sherman. He developed all of that after the Civil War and named all the streets for the Civil War people. And he's got this little tiny beat up.
It'd be in the congressional record somewhere, all of that would be.
Oh, yeah, and it is, and he's easy to find. If you just type him in, it just all comes up.
Sure.
Everything he's done.
Mhm.
But
Not
he's
much out
got
there.
this little puny, anyway, I think people would love to adopt a grave and take care of it.
Sure.
Then you do the flowers and the flags, and that would help with your flag situation, maybe. When you put flags on for Memorial Day.
We do not do that.
Oh, the Boy Scouts.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got Little Tiger football.
Okay, there you go.
Somebody else must be doing it for Veterans Day, because they're out there right now in the circles, which is scary with us blowing leaves, but that's okay. We weren't asked, they just showed up, so.
But like I said, when you compare with what Europe does for the veterans there, it's just, we're like, why aren't we doing more
Yep.
for these guys?
Yep.
Anyway,
It's all good stuff. Let's plan on a meeting in December that kind of spurs off the year. Is that what you're thinking? Or?
Well, I think December, we can sit more and get a time frame and maybe get a meeting set up. When do we want to do it? January, who wants to be on it?
Sure.
And then we'll just
Get
start.
some structure.
So where we can just sit in a time frame and whoever wants to be there and discuss this stuff and just have somebody kind of corralled so we can start getting who we want, how many we want, time frame. I mean, because you're gonna want to pull this off in a day or a few hours.
No.
How you want to do it. I mean, because see, my mind goes bananas because it's like, okay, I'll call Cindy Elliott, we can get some cards from people who can't walk. We'll get some food truck vendors, make it a day.
Yeah.
And let them go.
Make it a day.
The hard part is doing it Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
The reason is you set this all up and I have a funeral.
Right. Right.
Sunday's the only safe day,
Yeah.
so because we don't bury on Sundays or a holiday. Would be.
well, and when we had the sesquicentennial, I was in charge of the sesquicentennial, but that was with the tour, which was hugely successful. But like you say, the planning that had to go into that
Oh, yeah.
was
Intense.
monumental.
Yeah, and that's
After
what I
you do it
say.
the first year, you're gonna be.
Yeah, and you'll get better over the years, but I'm just saying, when we plan, if you want to be successful or be able to do it, you either have an alternate date or we just do it on a day we know we can do it.
All right.
Now, if you stay in the old section, you can do it, but then I have to worry about traffic if I'm doing a funeral out in there. And trust me, Saturday's a very big day. A lot of times, a lot of people are burying on Saturdays. So,
Well, you don't need me anymore.
nope, and we're
Thank
just
you
about
so
right
much.
done.
Appreciate
Thank you, I
you
appreciate
coming.
it.
Yeah, thank
Shelley.
you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And you can let me know
We will, we
who
will.
it is. And I'm delighted that the younger kids would be involved.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So what part of this do you want to do for us?
I'm gonna just sit there and say, good idea.
No, that's my role. I'm gonna get a committee and then I'm gonna step back.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Shelley.
Thank you.
So that was all I had on this one, unless there's anything else the board needs to bring up.
I do not.
I do need to make one other comment. In your list, if you go through, if you're wanting to go through, there is one burial in there that got canceled right at the last minute. Sherry has, the money is not in there, so the money is correct on your sheets, but there is one extra ash burial that did not happen. Okay.
We're at 18 and 25.
Well, these will be correct, but in your
On the
agendas and your
on
stats, yeah. She had already done the stats, and the funeral was supposed to go off at 2, and they called me at 1 and canceled, so I guess she didn't, she goes, what do I do? I said, I'll just tell them it's not, there's no sense redoing, throwing all the paperwork.
No.
So that's all I have, sir.
Okay, anybody else for the good of the order? If not, meeting's adjourned.
Very good.
December
Is this,
7th.
No, that's one that stays there.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna say.
Something, I don't know what it is.
Isn't that crazy? You